Welcome to Country Squire Radio. I'm Bo.
And I'm John David.
JD.
Hey, Bo. Good evening, man.
Man, good evening to you, sir. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good. I'm sitting here smoking this beautiful Radice that I've had in my collection for a while. And, it's one of those pipes that was like probably a dumb purchase, but, looking back on it, you're tickled that you have it.
No,
So,
all right. When did you buy that one?
It's been about 3 years ago now.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's been about 3 years.
That's
Got
a good-looking pipe.
Real gentle kind of rustication on there. Tonino Radice. I forget the name of the town he's from in Italy, but just does a real good job. Nice guy. You can friend him on Facebook. He'll chat you up all day long.
Oh, I always love that.
Good people. But yeah, man, smoking a little Orlick Golden Slice. Pretty
yeah,
delicious.
dude. I had Orlick for the first time earlier tonight.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I really, really liked it. In fact, I was talking with Timothy, who will actually be on next week's episode.
Yeah.
More information about that in just a minute.
That's exciting.
We were talking about Orlick, and I think I even talked to him on air or on the recording about how at the time I had never tried it before. And he was telling me that it was almost like smoking a blue moon. Like there was that something, there was that tanginess.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
And so I was kind of inspired because I've honestly always been a little intimidated by Orlick.
Smoking a blue moon. That's interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like all tobacco is in a renaissance right now, but particularly the Virginia stuff. There's just so many different Virginias out there, and you've got people that are going to nerd out about this one over that one, and well, these taste the same except this one's got more fruit, or this one's got more rum flavor or whatever. And Orlick is just kind of that go-to for me. I get made fun of by some of our listeners because I talk about it so often on the podcast, and there's that element of orange that just kind of comes off on the back end a little bit, and it's very bright. Bright blend, a real bright flake.
But a good Virginia tobacco.
Delicious.
I got to tell you,
I
felt so proud of myself after enjoying that I went straight to bag ends, because you've said before on the show that once you learn to smoke bag end, then you've learned how to smoke a pipe.
Yeah, and I believe that.
Well, then I can say I feel like at long last.
Did you enjoy bag end?
I very much enjoyed it. Did not burn my tongue, and I had a full bowl.
Dude, that's good.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you, dude.
Thank you. It was quite good.
This is the thing. Like, bag end has got so much of that bright yellow Virginia in it that it's loaded with natural sugar, and I guess that's kind of the thing. Once you get about halfway through that bowl, if you don't sip it, it'll bite you pretty hard. Yeah, you really have to learn how to sip it to keep it lit. But if you can enjoy bag end and keep it lit, man, that. You have arrived. You have learned how to smoke a pipe.
Well, then I've arrived.
Dude, congratulations. I don't have a medal or anything.
It took almost, 2.5 years of weekly mentorship with you, but finally I got there. Hey, how was a good day at the shop today?
Dude, great day. It's Christmas time, and retailers are, we kind of have to stay close to home base as far as the Christmas season goes. Yeah. So, been right here around the shop. It's been a lot of fun. Lots of folks coming in and out buying Christmas presents. We have this whole collection of wives of our customers that I only see once a year. And so this has been the 3-week period where I've been seeing these wives that it's like, oh, it's Janice. I hadn't seen you in a year. Like, I know exactly who you're here for,
Right.
Because obviously you don't smoke a pipe that I know of. So, it's kind of fun season. But yeah, man, we'll take Christmas Day off, and then the day after Christmas, be right back at it.
Well, I should say, man, this is the week of Christmas, so Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you, Bo.
Yeah, man.
Do you have any traditions or any kind of thing? I know we've probably talked about this before on air, but anything that your family does?
I've mentioned that we go down to Baton Rouge. It's kind of my favorite way to celebrate Christmas, is going down.
That's your fun Catholic side of the family.
It is, man.
Yeah.
They are a blast. It's this massive family. It's kind of a Brady Bunch situation.
Right.
And just a ton of aunts and uncles, even more cousins, and great food, good liquor. It's a lot of fun.
Delicious.
Some good presents in there as well. And so I'm really looking forward to that. Normally when we go down, we typically will spend the night. This year we're actually heading back up, so we're only doing a day trip down to Baton Rouge and back. But I'm kind of looking forward to it. We actually have my in-laws in town right now, so that's been
straight from Grand Rapids, right?
Yeah, man. So that's definitely been fun. We actually had typically in the past they've come after Christmas. This year we decided to do it before Christmas, so that once Christmas Day comes and goes, you're done. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to scramble to do everything else. You can kind of sit back, kids can play with everything, and kind of relax, take a breather.
That's nice.
A holiday from the holidays, if you know what I mean.
We all need that.
Oh, big time.
Desperately.
Well, I'll tell you something else we all need.
What's that?
We need some pipe tobacco from the Country Squire.
We do.
And I'll tell you how you can get it.
Tell us, Bo. I'm tracking like live real time, So I'm like, yeah. Please let me know how these fine folks, can get Country Squire tobacco.
Well, of course, if you've been listening for the last couple of weeks, we mentioned that we've got this brand new YouTube channel. For those of you that are watching live, you are watching live through our new YouTube channel. What we are asking folks to do is head over to that new YouTube channel, subscribe to us, head over to Twitter, let us know that you have. That puts your name in a running where not next week, but the next, when we return in 2016, we will be announcing a winner who will receive not 1, not 2, but 3 ounces of Country Squire Radio tobacco of your choice.
That's right.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I know you're going to enjoy it. We want to you guys to participate as soon as you possibly can. So again, actually go to countrysquireradio.com, click on YouTube. That'll take you to the channel. Subscribe, tweet us, let us know you did. And hey, actually, for those of you who are listening live, you can tweet us through the show tonight.
That's right. Be sure to follow us be sure to follow us at Squire Radio on Twitter, and you can tweet directly to us and join in on the banter.
Absolutely.
And the shtick, and ask questions or leave comments or smart remarks.
Hey, before we jump into our main topic tonight, I got to mention, this past week we had the Magnolia Pipe Club Christmas party.
We did. That was fun.
Yeah, and it was good turnout, a lot of great food. Something about having a Christmas party at a pipe shop. People are enjoying their pipes, enjoying that food, enjoying a little bit of alcohol.
Maybe a little of the brown water. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's a profitable night for you as people start to drink and they think, oh, I'm going to buy this.
You know what? That pipe sure has been catching my eye. It was a lot of fun, man. Folks brought all kinds of good food, but it was neat just to see the enthusiasm. One thing about pipe smokers is we're very much about community. And so, just having that here at the Squire was just it was a good event.
Yeah,
it was a good event. Philip Herring got his sister to make cookies that had pipes on the cookies.
I was going to ask you about these.
It's like, man, it almost looks like she used a stencil because they were so sharp. It was such a good job. But there are not any left because I ate them all. We had some stuff left, like our friend Hencho's. He made a strawberry pie.
Dude.
And it was like strawberries, like crushed up and whipped with like whipped cream and some other sweet stuff, and like it had the consistency of like if you were eating Cool Whip, but like if it were strawberry flavored.
Right.
Yeah, it was fine.
The wild thing is everybody took a bite of it and said, "This tastes like strawberries," as if they were shocked at just how strawberry it was. It's crazy. But yeah, great time was had by all. Hopefully, if you're part of a local pipe club, hopefully y'all had some great holiday festivities that you've been participating in. And you know what? If you didn't, hey, this might be a good note for next year. Around the holidays is a great time to get the club together, enjoy some Christmas cheer and some Christmas cheer with your Christmas cheer.
That's right.
So be sure to check that out.
Be sure to purchase your Christmas cheer to give you more Christmas cheer.
That's right.
To enjoy with your Christmas cheer.
One begets the other.
Right.
Yes.
Begat.
Let's talk about what
we've got a great topic tonight, don't we?
We've got a wonderful topic tonight. And no, it is not Star Wars. We're not going to spoil the new Star Wars film at all. Tonight, what we are going to be talking
Didn't you love that part where he rode the panda bear?
That did not happen. Look, this was the most amazing Star Wars movie ever, but we're not going to talk about it tonight. What we are going to talk about is a suggestion that was sent in by a couple of listeners. From time to time in this podcast, we have done what we call our Pipe Smoking 101 series.
That's right.
Where we take a look at questions or thoughts, really speaking directly to somebody who is really just entering into pipe smoking. Maybe they're considering it. Maybe they've just picked up their pipe, but they're wanting to know more about how they can kind of get their feet wet. And, we've gotten great feedback throughout the run of this podcast.
Yeah.
A lot of folks have just said, listening as a whole, it's really educated them a lot.
Sure.
That Pipe Smoking 101 is really a chance to really get focused into this group of folks. And this suggestion was actually sent in by Johnny Russell and G.A. Christian Baloo, who said, what are the 4 essential items that I should leave the tobacconist with? Now, great time of year to ask this question because people are getting new pipes, perhaps even their first ever pipe. They're going to be going to their local pipe shop and they're going to need to know what specifically they need to leave the shop with.
Yeah. So, you've got your obvious choices here. And we'll kind of tailor the first part of this towards someone that maybe received a pipe for Christmas. Maybe you're a new pipe smoker and you're finding this podcast and you're like, man, I've got this, fancy new pipe. I imagine there's something I need to put inside of it and then light on fire and then smoke.
Right.
But how exactly do I do that? And where do I go and all this? So when you do find a tobacconist that is relatively familiar with pipes, go in there, Obviously, you're going to want to leave with, if you're going to walk out with four things, as the question asks, the answer obviously other than your pipe is going to be tobacco. You need to leave with some tobacco, some pipe cleaners, a tamp, and perhaps a lighter or some form of ignition for your new pipe. Those are kind of the four bullets that things you want to walk out of the door with. We can talk about each one. The tobacco obviously is really important. When you go in a pipe shop as a new pipe smoker, you're thinking of those aromas of maybe someone that you grew up with smoking a pipe, grandfather or something, and he had that really sweet, delicious cherry blend, and it just made the room smell so good. One thing to think about as a new pipe smoker is a lot of those really syrupy, heavily flavored blends are really difficult to keep lit, and they also are harsh on your tongue. Okay, so it might be a good idea to try to find a tobacco. Ask your tobacconist for something that's kind of neutral, maybe a real easygoing Virginia blend, something that doesn't have just a ton of flavor, but certainly can be sweet. We have a house favorite here called Black and Tan. Black and Tan is we sell it by the pound at the Country Squire, and a lot of folks start on it but then stick to it because it's just so easy going. But you'll want to find a tobacco that's easy to get lit and keep lit and isn't going to tear up your tongue.
That's good. So, like you said, I mean, a lot of people, when they come to get their first tobacco, they're going to want to go to the flavors that speak to them.
Yeah.
But actually working through the mechanics first will set you up so that you'll be able to appreciate those flavors later on once you've gotten the mechanics down.
Definitely. Yeah. You're going to be so tempted to pull for that jar of really, really syrupy, sweet, Kool-Aid dripping cherry tobacco or whatever, and you just and maybe try it out, maybe see, but I think as far as learning the rhythm and the cadence of keeping your pipe lit and working in that direction of getting it down, you're going to want to pick a tobacco that's easy to keep lit and easy on your tongue, and something that's a little drier is going to be helpful. Obviously, pipe cleaners, that's kind of a no-brainer. I've talked about this on the show before. We have people that walk in at least once a week, and they look at the rack full of pipe cleaners, which is just right here, and they say that they make the connection. They say, "Oh, a pipe cleaner." That's what that's for.
That's what that's for.
Like it's for cleaning a pipe.
It's not for making toy bugs in kindergarten.
Like people finally see the pipe cleaner in a pipe shop, and they're like, I get it now. I get like it. I mean, what else are you going to clean other than a pipe?
Right.
Like, yeah, it's just perfect. So, and I remember growing up with that too. Like, what do you use a pipe cleaner for other than making a giraffe? Like, I don't.
Well, and you think about I bet every single person who's got a Christmas tree up in their house right now has an ornament with some pipe cleaners on it.
Maybe part of it. Yeah.
I mean, I think
you can even use the ornament, like instead of the little hook, you can use a pipe cleaner to make your own hook, Well,
I'm thinking there's one that's made out of it's a Rudolph that's made out of popsicle sticks that has a little cotton ball nose, red nose, and then pipe cleaners for the antlers.
That's just ridiculous.
No, it's great. My daughter makes it sing every single morning right now. It's wonderful. But not the appropriate use of pipe cleaners.
It's magic. No, it's just a secondary.
The secondary. That's good. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Most critical, obviously, is your tamper. And if you're going to leave the pipe shop if you're going to leave the pipe shop with one thing, okay, like the tamp is so important. Okay, that I would, if you were going to leave the pipe shop with one thing other than your pipe, I would almost rather go to like the drugstore and buy really crummy tobacco as long as you leave my shop with a pipe tamp.
Right.
Like that's the thing. Like, I mean, the tamp and the tobacco are just so critical, particularly for a new pipe smoker. So be sure to leave with that tamp. Have the person behind the counter, if they know anything about pipes at all, to explain to you kind of what the purpose of the tamp is. We've talked about it ad infinitum on this show, just about the tamp being kind of like the poker next to your fireplace.
Exactly.
You're constantly using it as the smoke is going, and you're constantly kind of continually stoking your fire back up. That's just so critical. So leave with your tamp for sure. And then finally a lighter or matches or something like that to get your pipe lit. If you use a lighter and you're going to be real serious about pipe smoking, a purist is going to tell you get something that burns really clean, doesn't leave a lot of residual flavor. And it also, if it's going to be a soft flame, that it comes out at an angle so it doesn't burn the rim of your pipe up. You've got, we've got a house lighter here that's really popular that's made by Zycar. It's got a really nice soft flame, comes out on the side, really clean action. Use butane on it, works great. Those are going to be a little more expensive. We had the luxury just a few years ago of selling these IMCO lighters that were just like the Nokia cell phone of the lighter world. And they were just so consistent. They came out at an angle. You could run over these things with your car and they'd still work. It was, they're really great. But those, unfortunately, they don't make those anymore. You can still find them occasionally around, but they don't manufacture those anymore. So if you find one of those, snatch it up because it's great. Zippo pipe lighters are good. They do leave a little flavor at the very beginning of your smoke, but my experience is it burns off really quickly. And so, the Zippos are awesome. You can use them outside in any kind of weather, deep wind. They work really consistently. So if you don't use a lighter, a guy like me is going to tell you, you're going to probably get a better light using a match.
Right.
So get you some stick matches. Most tobacco shops that are worth their salt will give away some type of matches, and be sure to grab those. Matches are good because you can take your time so intently, focusing the flame in very specific areas on the top of your bowl. And so it's just really handy to be able to do that. And, if it goes out, my experience with the lighter is you're kind of trying to hurry to use the lighter so you're not using up your flame.
Right.
And so with the match, you can go very slowly, very deliberately in very specific areas of your bowl, and then get it lit. So, and then throw your match out because it's just a little match. So,
and think about what you just said. I mean, you're talking.
Oh, I'm thinking.
Well, if you think about, for example, I remember back when I first, walked into a pipe shop, and felt very intimidated. Of course, I've told the story several times, and it was just a terrible experience in the shop that I went into. But I just felt like they were trying to push these things on me because I didn't know that you needed all these additional things. And not only that, it's not like, they just seem more interested in making a sale with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if you're coming into this, like, let's just say, like you said, if you just got a pipe for Christmas, and you're looking at coming in the shop, what John David just mentioned was you need your tobacco.
Right.
You need a pipe tamp, which could honestly just be a nail, which you could get for, I mean, what nails?
Couple bucks.
Yeah, I mean, a couple bucks right there. Matches, which are typically free, and some good pipe cleaners, which are, again, just a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
And so, in terms of for that first trip, if some people like to come in, they want to get, the most expensive things, make sure they've got, the best of the best from the get-go.
Yeah.
And more power to you. But for those of you that might be intimidated by the fact, there are these additional things, we're talking 4 accessories that you need that you can walk out of the shop with just a couple of bucks and be ready to kind of get into working the mechanics of your pipe.
All right. Now that we've covered all that, indulge me for a minute, because I want to take everything we just said and throw it out.
Yep, of course.
This is the thing, like a new pipe smoker, if you've got a legitimate pipe shop in your area where the guy behind the counter or lady behind the counter is familiar with pipes and familiar with just how pipes and pipe tobacco work, and it's such a different beast than cigars. And again, we've said multiple times, we love cigars. The Country Squire, we sell cigars, but we're a pipe shop. We're first and foremost a pipe shop. And if you can find a pipe shop like that where someone is, behind the counter is intimately familiar with the details of pipes, leave all the stuff I just said behind. Your goal in leaving that pipe shop is, before you leave, to get as much information out of the guy behind the counter as you can.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's the thing. So, if I was going to tell you to get 4 things, from inside the pipe shop before you leave, you could get, tobacco, a tamp, pipe cleaners. You can get all that stuff somewhere else. If you have access to someone that has the knowledge of how to, smoke a pipe and take care of your pipe, all that, the things you want to walk out of are, number one, a sense of the different types of tobacco that there are. Okay. So you're a new pipe smoker. You're like, I know I need to put something in this pipe, but what are my options? Go in, talk to your pipe shop guy, get kind of an idea of the different types of tobacco. Have him walk you through aromatics, non-aromatics, English blends, Oriental blends, the different types of leaves, their properties. Part of that will really kind of give you an appreciation of, wow, this is not just, cherry, vanilla, caramel, peach. It's, this whole spectrum of things out there that, you really can blossom into, even if you start in one little area of it. So a better understanding of pipe tobacco, I think, is number one.
That's true, but I will say this, man. I mean, that can be intimidating for folks.
Yeah, it can.
Like honestly, I mean, there's a lot to this as a hobby, and I mean, again, just speaking from experience, I was extremely intimidated, and even if he had gone into all of that stuff, I think I was already 1 foot out the door.
Yeah,
just because I felt like, all right, you're piling on here, you know what I mean. And so
that's a good point.
Different for different people. I think what we're kind of talking about here too is best practices, making kind of a point to when you walk through the door, having goals set.
Yeah,
just any shopping experience should be like that anyway. But making sure that you go in not just to walk away with products, but really to make
I'm
sure
going to Walmart with this goal of 300 packages of paper towels.
If you don't go into Walmart with a goal, you're going to walk out spending way more money with a bunch of crap you don't need.
No, that's true. That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, no, look, you have to go in. You have to have kind of that idea of making sure that you're walking out knowing what you're getting into. And when you have somebody right there across the counter sitting down with you who's able to light up alongside you, that goes a long way.
It's really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So number one, I would ask, just kind of different types of tobacco. Number two, I would ask the proper way to care for your pipe. Okay. So just kind of a overall general instruction, have someone show you kind of the basics of, how to clean and care for your pipe. Number three, how to break your pipe in. Some people, if you're buying a really high-end pipe, you're going to want to, try to break it in slowly and evenly, build some nice cake on it, and take your time, give the briar a chance to adjust to the heat. But again, we've kind of got the same thing. Number four, if even of all four of these things, the first three I've mentioned in this last one, if you're going to do any of them, the exact only one that really matters, you can go to the Five and Dime and buy a golf tee and tamp your pipe with. You can go to the gas station and get some crummy tobacco that they made out of pine straw. But the number one thing you've got to, if you have the opportunity to talk to someone that's familiar with pipes, number one thing you've got to do is talk to that person about packing and lighting your pipe. Please leave your tobacconist with that kind of knowledge, because you are, the odds of you, if you're not kind of given it a good opportunity to see what it's like to pack and to tamp and keep your pipe lit and to do all those things, the odds of you sticking with it are just very low.
Well, and here's the beautiful thing. If you don't have a tobacconist in your local area, man, we've covered most of this stuff throughout the history of this podcast.
We have, yeah.
And so we've got them all in the archives there. And the beautiful thing is, every single episode we do a recurring segment that we're about to jump into here called Pipe Question of the Week.
That's right.
And you can always send us questions in. Even, from time to time, we'll even re-answer questions if a new person sends in a question we've gotten before, but we haven't talked about in a while. We want to make sure that we're keeping you up to date. So, the new pipe smoker, the old pipe smoker, you've all got what you need right here if you don't necessarily have it in your neck of the woods. And we're happy to be that for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And give me a call too. I know, a lot of folks, they will call occasionally, and I wish I had more time around the shop just because things are really busy, and we are a small pipe shop. So a lot of times I don't have, I'm the only one here and just don't have the time, but
right.
Man, feel free to, email me, give me a call. If I'm available to help you, I'll be more than happy to. We want to do anything we can to get you on the right foot, particularly if you just got your first new pipe. Shoot, that's exciting.
Look, gaining more knowledge is important, and I know another good way you can gain more knowledge, and that's through audiobooks.
Yeah, I love to listen to audiobooks.
Man, so do I. audibletrial.com/CSR will actually get you a free audiobook. And of course, I'm going to recommend a Star Wars book. We're not going to talk about the fact that there's a new Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I thought we weren't going to talk about the fact that there was a new Star Wars
movie. But you know what? There is a new Star Wars movie, and there's some great books that kind of set the stage for the movie that you're going to see. So you can find those, of course, at audibletrial.com/CSR. And I do want to talk a little bit about Star Wars, but I'm going to wait until next year because so many twists and turns in that movies. I don't want to spoil anything if people haven't seen it.
Just remember the panda bears. I mean, that was
he's
a stellar,
making that up.
That was a stellar. I mean, J.J. Abrams just nailed it on that.
Making that up to mess with me. Making it up. Look, here's what you need to remember. That's audibletrial.com/CSR for a free audiobook. Pipe Question of the Week this week is brought to us by Lane BCA. Ow! Oh, man, that good, delicious black Cavendish.
Yep. It's a favorite, particularly of American blends and for sure blends of the South, where you just like something creamy and sweet. and light. BCA is just such a good vanilla Cavendish and just a real classic.
A great tobacco to recommend, especially this time of year. As you're going out, you're spending time with that family, you're eating that good food, and you're looking for a nice little dessert tobacco to have after it. And give Black Cavendish, give the BCA from Lane a try. Let us know what you think. All right. Now, this is kind of interesting. We had a pipe question of the week planned, but we also got one live over Twitter.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I pivot to that one since it's kind of relevant to what we're talking about?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so we got a pipe question of the week in, actually live during this show. This is actually from Rafael Orazaco.
Rafael
Orazaco.
You should know your Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I know, right?
Better.
That's bad on me. He says, what tobacco would you recommend for the least experienced pipe smoker? And how about a second tobacco after aromatics?
Yeah. That is a really good question. We kind of discussed that just a little bit before. Black and Tan at the Country Squire is great because it's just a super smooth, creamy blend of Black Cavendish and Burley. It's something that it's got plenty of sweetness to it. It's not overly sweet. It's certainly not syrupy sweet. You're not going to get like, wow, that's cherry or something. But but it's certainly going to have a little flavor, and it's going to be so easy on your tongue, easy to keep lit. So I would certainly point you in that direction. We've got others that might be kind of similar in that vein. Rivendell would be one. Parsons Blend would be one. House favorites that are going to have maybe a little more flavor than the Black and Tan, but certainly not a syrupy sweetness to them. If you're kind of that aromatic person that wants to pivot maybe towards the second type of tobacco and just try something that maybe is a little out of your wheelhouse and expand your palate a little bit, I would first recommend you try Merriweather. Merriweather is a Virginia blend. It's probably one of my personal favorite tobaccos. It's super simple, real clean burning Virginia. Just got a mellow sweetness to it, just a hint of topping on it, which makes it really nice.
Kind of smells like honey.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. You know how a lot of times you open up a Virginia tobacco and it kind of has a tea smell to it or something like that. A lot of times people get that. But Merriweather's good. Also, Pirates Alley, really, really good. It's got a lot of Perique in it, but it's one of those that is just, really, really smooth, and it could kind of lead you in that direction.
Is Pirates Alley a aromatic?
No. It's a non-aromatic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are non-aromatic.
Gotcha.
Yeah, these are. Let me make sure I had the question right.
How about the second tobacco after aromatics?
Yeah, second tobacco after aromatics.
Right.
So yeah, if you kind of gone down the aromatic path and then want to try something else, Merriweather, Pirates Alley. If you want to try an English blend, that's a really good entry level Latakia blend that's going to give you that taste of Latakia without knocking you in the head. Cornishman is really good. That Cornishman was actually the person that founded our shop 45 years ago, Jim Reeves. Cornishman was his favorite tobacco. He blended that, and it's just delicious, really smooth. Just a kiss of Latakia, certainly enough for you to smell it and taste it, but not overwhelming. You might compare it to like a Frogmorton. Just really, really smooth. So I might point you to one of those.
Okay. All right. But first step, definitely Black and Tan.
Yeah, I think so. Black and Tan. If you want something maybe a little sweeter, you could go with the Rivendell or the Parsons Blend. Another good one is Cherokee. Cherokee, we sell by the pound, tons of Cherokee. And it's just a Virginia Cavendish mixture, a recipe we've had for a long time. Super smooth, easy to keep lit, and it's got a great room note.
Great stuff, man. Great question too from Raphael.
Yeah, thanks, Raphael.
Always love getting that kind of feedback, especially live on the fly during the live show. So thanks for tweeting that in. And of course, if you do have a pipe question of the week, you can send it in csr@podastery.com. I'm loving these tweets that we're going to get in. We're going to comb through a couple of them during our listener feedback section.
Good ones.
That one Paul just sent in of us on the big screen. Hey, we're on your big screen.
You're like right next to his Christmas tree.
I know. Awesome. Isn't that great? I just retweeted that. All right, ready? Quick fire questions.
Ow!
All right, man. We've been combing through these questions from Morton Sandevi, and we're going to keep going on here. He's got some great ones today. Nirup or Nording?
I'm going to make a lot of people angry, but I'm a Nirup guy.
Why would that make... Nirup has got some fanboys.
Nirup has fanboys, but like Nording is... Eric Nording, what he's done for the pipe industry and the pipe community and the products that he puts out and the quality of them, they're fantastic. I mean, Eric Nording, if you think of value in the pipe world, you think of Eric Nording. I'm a Nerup guy. I like his shapes better. I like the draw of them better. I like the size of the bowls better.
You even like the P-lip.
No, I don't like a P-lip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't the P-lip the Nerup thing, right?
No. That's Peterson.
Oh, Peterson's the P-lip. My bad.
That's the Peterson. They have this little, shall we say, when I think to myself, I think it's a gimmick. When I talk to people, I'm like, it's an option.
Right.
But that little hole in the top of the lip where it comes, instead of getting tongue bite, you get roof bite.
Yeah,
it's great. Everyone loves roof bite.
In my head, I always have that down as like a Nerup thing. But you're right. That's a Peterson.
No, it's a Peterson thing. But yeah, I'm a Nerup guy. I believe in what they do. I think you get a really high quality pipe for the price.
Okay, well, I am Nording all the way.
Of course,
you have nothing bad to say about Nerup. I just, right now, my favorite pipe, and it's one I've been smoking all Christmas long, and will continue to do so, is this beautiful Nording Church Warden.
Yeah,
I actually, you can go back in earlier episodes, me saying I always wanted to own a Nording, and I was given one as a gift recently, and man, I'm enjoying it like crazy. So definitely Nording between the two. Ink or pencil?
Ink. Particularly fountain ink, fountain pen ink, fountain ink.
Yeah,
did I say fountain ink?
You're big into the fountain.
I like fountain pens. Yeah, it's kind of my thing.
Not the dip in, but the kind where the fountain's actually in the.
Yeah, you've actually got the little converter that you can put the ink inside your pen and then roll with it. Yeah, I don't want not a quill, an ink pen.
Right. I'm going to go pencil because I need to be able to erase because I misspell anything and everything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Although, do you remember back in the day when they had erasable pens?
Yeah.
Like when that was like
whatever happened to that?
I don't know. Like
because the top of the pen had that little crummy eraser on the top of it, and you'd like erase it really hard. And it like and most of it would come out, but not all of it would
it'd be ingrained, like carved into the paper.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Dude, talk about a gimmick.
Yeah.
That's a gimmick.
But the crazy thing was it was required for school.
The P-lip of the pen world. I mean another great option. I mean another great option for the pen world. We have people out there that love P-lips. That's great. Good for them. I don't like roof bite.
Not your thing. All right, this one's definitely speaking to you. Lovecraft or Poe?
Like Edgar Allan Poe?
Yeah.
Oh, Lovecraft. I was thinking Warcraft?
What? No. Although a lot of Warcraft is a lot of basis in Lovecraft, but yeah, Lovecraft or Poe.
Yeah, I have to go with Lovecraft. I love H.P. Lovecraft. His stuff is so dark and twisted, and it's like, and Poe obviously is too, but with Lovecraft, a lot of it is left nebulous enough to where you still don't really understand what's going on, and it's okay. And I really like that. I got to go with Lovecraft.
I appreciate the imagination of Lovecraft, whereas Poe, I don't necessarily. I mean, you just gotta kind of cry for a little while after reading some Edgar Allan Poe, but I do have to kind of choose Poe between the two, just from a classical standpoint.
You and your ravens.
And then finally, Metallica or Slayer.
Golly, that's like.
And he puts in parentheses, metalheads are also pipe smokers. Even though I don't think either one of us would qualify as a metalhead.
I mean, I probably am more familiar with Metallica.
Yeah, that's me too. That was what I was going to say.
Do you watch South Park?
Not to the extent that you do.
Okay, so I'm a South Park nerd, and and it's terrible. If you've got your young children listening to this show, I do not intend to tell them to go watch South Park.
We do not endorse South Park.
We do not endorse South Park, although personally I watch it all the time, and it's just hilarious. It makes me laugh. But they had this episode where they had a gathering of
the hippies episode
of hippies, yes. and it was almost like a new Woodstock, but they did Woodstock in South Park, and the town could not figure out how to make these hippies disperse, because they were just taking over the town. And of course they had this big hippie concert to try to bring in revenue, but then they realized that hippies don't have money.
It was shot in the style of like this disaster film, natural disaster film.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like, I don't know, 2012.
Deep Impact, Armageddon, that sort of thing.
So anyway, in order to make the hippies disperse, they have to drill through this pile of pot smoking hippies to get to the center stage. And once they're at the center stage, they upload Slayer into the audio system. And so instead of like feel good, love, hug your neighbor music, you've got Slayer, and it's like, oh man, it's so lame. Everything's lame. And then they all leave.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe Slayer.
Let's bail on this whole angry scene. I think is what they say.
Yeah, bail.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to go Metallica because that's the one I'm more familiar with.
Yeah,
but,
fair enough.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so we disagreed on all of them.
Good.
You win.
Yeah, we need some drama on Country Squire.
Here's the thing, though, because we always say, like, if we agree on all of them, then I guess they lose because they made us agree on all of them. And if we disagree on all of them, then they win. But Morton sent us an entire list that it doesn't count. Because,
no, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. That's great.
All right. Well, great questions. Of course, go ahead and send us in some CSR@podastery.com.
Hey, Bo, Mark Farrar wants to know where you got your hat. I almost tweeted him that you got it at Chuck E. Cheese, but I just want to make sure. Is that right?
Come on now.
How many tickets did it cost?
No, don't you dare.
Was Key Ball fun?
Look, this hat. Let me tell you something. I was actually having a conversation about this earlier tonight. I've always loved the idea of wearing a hat.
Yeah.
But have always had a hard time finding, like, I'll buy hats and then never wear them because they never quite fit my head.
Yeah.
I got kind of a big cranium up here.
I feel the same way for, a guy our height. I feel like I've got a big head.
Yeah. Well, so I was in.
I promise you, it's not because of brains.
Right.
It's hot air.
Yeah. No, look, I was in New Orleans actually, and there's a hat shop. I wish I could remember the name of it.
Is it Gorin Brothers?
Maybe. It's off of Royal Street.
Yeah.
And
I want to say Gorin.
Well, the one that everybody knows in New Orleans is Meyer the Hatter, and I've wasted money in Meyer, and I have nothing bad to say about it. It's a fine spot, but I just haven't found anything there that worked for me.
I bet he smokes a P-lip.
Meyer?
It's a P-lip's a great option.
Look, if Meyer smokes a pipe, we're
refight.
getting him on. I don't care if he smokes a P-lip or not. But no, this was in New Orleans at this shop off Royal, and I absolutely love this hat, and I wear it every chance I can get.
It looks good, Bo.
Thank you. We got some great tweets actually in while we've been doing this this particular episode. We got a lively group over on Twitter who's been tweeting in. We already mentioned Paul sent in a picture of us on his big screen TV next to his Christmas tree. So happy to be part of your holiday celebration.
Part of the holiday traditions now.
Yes, sir, man. I love that. It's good.
The better metal getting ready. Paul at the Subcon says the better metal getting rid of hippies episode was in season 1 on Metalocalypse.
No, it was Die Hippie Die.
Was it Die Hippie Die?
I know this because there's only a very few South Park episodes I've rewatched several times.
Yeah,
and that's one of them.
I wish I could say there were very few South Park episodes I've rewatched several times.
No. Whenever I'm at your house, I'm always shocked if South Park's not playing.
It's really.
You've got a problem.
I have problems.
You have a problem. Look, we got some great feedback in from iTunes. As I scroll down through Morton Sam Devy's long list of quickfire questions. Actually, we've got some great feedback in. First one actually up from YouTube. This comes in from Rob Forbes. John David, do you want to read what we got here?
Absolutely. Rob on YouTube says, finally got to watch a live show. Made my wife endure it. What are you talking about? Endure it,
Come
man.
on,
you
now.
know she loved it.
Yeah.
She kept yelling, Tim Burton to your movie question.
Right.
That's fair. Didn't realize she was actually listening. Only one suggestion, raise your camera height. Yeah, we've gotten that a few times.
Yeah. And we tried to do that for this episode too.
Yeah. That way we can see your face over the mic and get a better view of the items you had to discuss during the podcast. I felt like I was a member of a pipe club. Hope to make the trek to the Country Squire one day. On another note, isn't Max Stokeby a great guy?
Oh, dude.
He has attended the Rome, Georgia Briar Club at Old Havana Cigar Bar many times. Love their product. Wish we could have hooked up while you were in town. Man, Max Stokeby, like, I asked him one time, like, when you were born a Stokeby, do you get a choice? Like, can you choose to not be a pipe smoker?
Right.
And he was like, look, my parents were very, very good. My family was, they obviously, told me these options were available, that, they didn't, force, feed me, Black Cavendish along with my breast milk, that wasn't a part of it. But Max has just become a really good friend. We love all the other great folks at Lane and at Scandinavian Tobacco Group. And I hope to get Max in the shop sometime real soon.
Oh, absolutely.
Great comment, Rob.
We also you mentioned the just a quick movie reference. I wanted to mention this. When I was in the theater to see Star Wars, I noticed a trailer, not before that film, but while I was waiting in line for popcorn, and it's for The Hateful Eight, Quentin Tarantino's new movie.
Okay.
All right, so I don't know anything about this movie because you couldn't even hear what they were saying on the screen. All I know is that Samuel L. Jackson was smoking a long church warden pipe.
Yeah, I saw you write something about that in the show notes.
Yeah.
What did that? I didn't see that.
I need to look more into what's going on with there. But he was smoking a pipe, and I think there were at least 2 other characters who were also smoking a pipe.
What kind of tobacco does Samuel L. Jackson smoke?
Does
he just smoke like the hair of people he's killed? Is that?
No, man. Samuel L. Jackson. What would Samuel L. Jackson smoke?
something delicious. I don't know.
Latakia.
Maybe.
I think he'd be straight up Latakia.
I think he'd be an aromatic guy.
You think so?
I don't know.
Maybe. We should ask him.
Yeah.
Next time
he might be
we
a
see him.
BCA guy.
We'll see. We got a great iTunes review in. This comes from Mazar, who says, excellent podcast. I've been new into the pipe hobby for a few months. Thanks to these guys, they have helped me move forward and show me just how much the pipe can really do. If you are looking for entertainment and education, this is the podcast for you. John, David, and Bo are an awesome team and very well knowledgeable of the pipe. They keep the podcast upbeat and very informative. You will feel just like you're sitting at the table with them. Keep up the great work, guys. Keep them coming. Very, very much appreciated. Well, Mazar, man, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. We're glad we're of help to you.
Yeah, man. Like, look, we love getting that kind of feedback from you in the various ways. Of course, if you are watching on the YouTube, if you want to leave us in the a note in the comments, that's a great way to send us feedback. You know, throughout the night, we've been getting in tweets from the live show, but you can, of course, tweet us throughout the week. We love getting that kind of stuff. You can actually follow me personally on Twitter. I'm at the real Bo York.
I'm at John David Cole, and you can get us at the shop at _Country Squire.
And of course, you can follow the show at Squire Radio, but all of that information and more can be found at countrysquireradio.com. Now, go ahead.
You know, I was just going to comment on how much I love Orla Golden Slide.
Oh man, good stuff. No, I'm smelling it here. It smells delicious.
They don't even pay me to say that, but I mean, they don't yet pay me to say that. It's just so good.
It's delicious, man. It smells amazing. Look, here's the great thing. We've got this wonderful thing going on. If you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to the Country Squire Radio YouTube channel.
Yeah.
If the YouTube channel is the primary method through which you are enjoying this podcast, we will be gone next week. Now, however, that does not mean there will not be a new podcast out next week. We've actually got one pre-recorded, the triumphant return of Timothy to Country Squire Radio. Had a great discussion with him. Looking forward to it. It's actually going to be about pipe smoking in seminary. So if that piques your interest,
should be really interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It was a great discussion, and I can't wait to put it out there. So tune in to the podcast next week. But again, that will not be available on the YouTube channel, so it will be a podcast exclusive. Be sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes, Satchel, or all those wonderful players. And yeah, that's what you need to do.
Dude, Merry Christmas to you both.
Merry Christmas, man.
Man, this is the first Christmas you've got with your second born.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And this is the first Christmas I have.
Man, no, look, man. This is the third Christmas that we've been able to spend together in this kind of capacity.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
I got to tell you, man, it's always fun getting together with the Magnolia Pipe Club, but to me, it's just not Christmas yet until you and I get a chance to record our Christmas episode of Country Squire Radio.
I'm glad we did.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, hey, let's go have a holiday.
See you, brother.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the live show. Love that you did. And yeah, we hope to see y'all next year.
Y'all stay in touch. See you.